Because when God speaks, sometimes we may not understand. When God says he's going to do a new thing. So, is a new thing Asiwaju or Peter Obi? This is somebody, after leaving governance in Lagos State, has never been a candidate anywhere for any position. Obi and Atiku, they have been serial candidates. So this man came for the first time after he left governance in Lagos State to become a candidate, and he won again. That's a new thing. If we put the records on table, Buhari has performed better than any president in Nigeria. In his first term, we are human beings. We seem to have forgotten all the recognition that he gave to Abiola, which Obasanjo refused to give, which Jonathan refused to give. Buhari is the one that gave it. Now, look at Niger Bridge.
Oh, yes.
That's all of them.
Historic project, sir.
Before Buhari could not complete, yes. Buhari completed it. Yeah. Many other things like that. Look at the train.
Yeah. From
Lagos to Kaduna.
Even to Ibadan.
To Abuja to Ibadan. You know, it's Buhari that did it. We have those who borrowed money to buy military equipment. And still, they could not fight Boko Haram hands down. Today, Boko Haram has been fought hands down. They still strike once in 3 months. They come in, strike, run away. But those days, they have a base in Nigeria. The 2023 general election in Nigeria is the best in the history of Nigeria. It is the first time in the history of this country that governors will lose election in their own state. A governor that won a whole state could not even win a senatorial seat, which is just a section within the state. It has never happened in Nigeria. If a party, 4 years ago, the PDP, could not win the election 4 years ago, now in 2023, they are splitted into 4 fractions. And somebody is expecting one of the fractions to win. That person must have problem with his or her brain. What did Ebora Owu did with good intention, but as a bad policy that affected the economy of Nigeria, that ruined, it's not only just affecting, it ruined the economy of Nigeria. It is called, or it was called then, Nigerianization policy. Asiwaju says to fight corruption, make the people comfortable. Don't give them reason to steal. You want to build a house, you can take a loan. We do it in Europe, we do it in America. We don't have the money, we take loan, we buy house, we build house, and we pay mortgage every month. You will start paying the money back. You want to buy a new car, you don't even need to buy a second-hand car. A new car, just take a mortgage. Buy it, hire purchase. And you can pay it 10, 20 years that you don't feel it. Instrumentally. They just ask you to be paying like 2,000 naira every month for the next 20 years. So you don't have cost to steal. See where Tinubu is coming from. Look at the approach of Tinubu. Look at the approach of Buhari. One is so sensible. The other one is just punitive.
Sensibility and punitivity.
Yes. Both should work together. But not only punitive, because we know our people, it doesn't put them off.
It doesn't put them off.
It doesn't put them off.
Corruption is
but
like a
if
culture.
you put both, make life easy for people, then those who still choose to steal, punish them.
Avarice, greed.
Yes. Punish them. So the guy is too much. To me, no politicians ever thought that way. In Nigeria, at least that we know we heard of. No politician. Because they don't have what it takes. They don't have the vision. They don't have the brain to think like Asiwaju is thinking. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with age. It has not. They said, "Oh, the man is frail." That's how we were told. There's one skit going on the social media. I will come back to that. They said the man is frail, so we'll know Asiwaju is good, but we are afraid he might die. That's how they said Buhari will not complete 8 years in Aso Rock, that Buhari will die. And Buhari did not die. When they saw that Buhari was not dying, they said now, hey, what do you call this for? They brought somebody else to represent him, the brim of
Sudan,
Niger, Sudan. That is so interesting. One of these fake prophets on social media now said, don't you see Asiwaju since he came back from London? Asiwaju is now a little bit fat.
Yes.
They have replaced him. It's not the same Asiwaju that went to London. It's another person. They are now selling to us as Asiwaju. All these fake news will come up. People should just discountenance them. They are fake news. There's no jibin. It is the same. It got good medical attention and it's looking good. And it's going to, after 8 years, it's going to go and rest in Daura. And even he said, if they trouble him too much in Daura, he will leave Daura, go to somewhere else where they don't know, nobody knows him. Yeah, go to Niger or whatever and go and rest. That is the thing. The prayer we should God should just use, we should be praying that God should use Asiwaju for us marvelously and turn things around in this country. Turn the country around so much that we can be proud to be in Nigeria. Right now, in spite of all what Buhari has done, I know some of our people, when they meet them outside, they just say, oh, I'm from Ghana, I'm from Gambia, I'm from Senegal. Nigerians are not proud to say I'm from Nigeria. It's unfortunate. It really is not something to laugh about. It's totally unfortunate.
Oh my God.
It makes me sad. We should be proud. But before we are proud, we must be doing things that people are seeing that could, are you from Nigeria? Oh, your country is great. Are you from Nigeria? I know before, in the time of, was it not 1993, the time of Abiola?
Yes, sir.
I went to Kenya. Few people I met, I didn't know them before. They said, oh, are you from Nigeria? Oh, you are good people. Nigerians are good people. I was asking, how much? These people have never left their country. How did they know that Nigerians are good? They said Abiola came here and was sharing dollars to them on the street. People he did not know. He was just sharing dollars to them. And since then, they fell in love with Nigeria. So, it's what people see, they will say. The experience they have is what they will propagate. So, I'm believing and I'm trusting God. I'm not trusting Asiwaju as such. and trusting God. God told us that Asiwaju will turn this country around. That's what God told us. And I know the God that I'm serving is not a man that is able to say but not able to do. We are serving a living God that is able to say and able to do. Everything he told us years back, God has always been doing it. Particularly on the Holy Mount Tabora.
Yeah.
Since 1937, there is no pronouncement of God, no revelation, divine revelation from God that has not come to pass till today. To God be the glory.
No revelation.
No single revelation that has not come to pass. You remember?
Yes.
When God told one of my predecessors,
yes, sir,
that
I think there was going to be a coup some
a
years
coup,
ago.
yes,
A coup, yeah, and
a
they
coup.
came to
Even
harassing him.
Police came. He was arrested. They
yeah.
asked him, "Who are your friends in the army?"
I mean, yeah.
He doesn't even. Yeah. And funnily, to God be the glory, he does not know any army general. He does not know anybody in the army.
But after 21 days of coming down
in December, yes, God told him in August.
Yes, sir.
December of the same year, there was a coup.
Yep.
That removed the sitting government by the army. God told us before Corona came.
That was 1983.
Tabora, August 2019. God told us that Corona is coming. And by December, Corona already started abroad in China. It was early 2020 that it spread all over the world. The following year, God told us that there is going to be a solution to Corona. That 2022, even the economy of many countries before the end of 2022 and early 2023 is going to be better than before Corona. Everything God told us, God has been doing. So
on the Holy Mount Tabora.
Holy Mount Tabora, that has been a God, a covenant God of the Holy Mount Tabora. And what he says, he will surely do.
I think this year's own 2023, most of the prophecy has been fulfilled too.
Yes.
This is the 86th edition.
Yes.
And most of the prophecies there have been fulfilled from the country of Angola,
even Nigeria,
Austria,
many countries.
Australia,
the one particularly about Nigeria. Because when God speaks, sometimes we may not understand. When God says he's going to do a new thing. So, is a new thing Asiwaju or Peter Obi? If you look at it...
A lot of people want the new thing to be Peter Obi, actually.
Oh, sure. But
yes.
Look at the meaning of a new thing. This is somebody, after leaving governance in Lagos State, has never been a candidate anywhere for any position. Obi and Atiku, they have been serial candidates. So this man came for the first time after he left governance in Lagos State to become a candidate, and he won again. That's a new thing. If Obi had won, it's not new. It was 4 years ago, the vice presidential, or 8 years ago rather,
yes,
the vice presidential candidate to Atiku. So what's new about it? It's just like any other person who failed and tried again, just like Buhari. After he tried 4 times, he got what he wanted.
So how are you going to rate President Buhari? Because I remember when I came here in 2015, you just came in from maybe Germany or France or somewhere then, and there was a lot of good prophecies. But as at that time, to be honest with you, you said we should go for Sowore. I think 2019. Yeah. You said this young man is full of vigor, full of vision, and charismatic enough that what do we want to do with something we have seen? Because it was 4 years half of Buhari there. But now, if you are to mark the results as the maths or English or oral English teacher for Buhari, what are you going to give in its mark?
Let me first put one record straight.
Sorry.
It is true. No, you are correct. It is true that I said, personally, if we are looking for a young man to lead Nigeria, and I repeated it just now again.
Yes, sir.
Mogalu, Sowore, and co. I don't know all their names. Fatoyibo, or I don't know. You know them. They are about the same age. They are in the 50s. The same thing I said that time too. That if you are looking for a fresh somebody, it's better to go for Sowore. One of the reasons for Sowore is because he has never been in government. So he does not need to look at, oh, these are the people that... Moghalu is a good guy, but he has been part of them.
Deputy Governor CBN.
Yes.
Under
some people recommended him to be deputy governor, and he was accepted. The question of Nigeria, will he be able, if those who recommended him now did something wrong, will he be able to prosecute them? Sowore has no fear. Nobody has helped him to become anything. So, and is really fearless. Is able to. But another thing, sometimes we are talking about all these things. This is what we want. What we want is different from what God wants. So, is Sowore politically matured enough? That's another question left to all of us to analyze and answer, which I don't have an answer to either. So now let us go to what Buhari has done.
Yes, sir. Total honor, sir.
We have seen, if we put the records on table, Buhari has performed better than any president in Nigeria.
How do you mean, sir?
Yes.
A lot of people might disagree with you.
Yes.
And some will agree with you.
Oh, sure.
50-50, sir.
I will put it in two ways.
Okay, sir.
Buhari did certain things. Actually, one of the best things he did was things that did not cost 1 naira. In his first term, we are human beings. We seem to have forgotten all the recognition that he gave to Abiola, which Obasanjo refused to give, which Jonathan refused to give. Buhari is the one that gave it.
He gave him a GCFR.
That was
2018, sir.
Yes. GCFR.
And acknowledge him as the president.
Post-mortem. Yes.
Posthumously.
So, he named certain things also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the stadium in Abuja after him. Many things like that does not cost. It's just good gesture.
Gave him political accolade.
Yes, good gesture. And majority of Nigerians were happy. But these are things that did not bring 1 naira into the pocket of Nigerians. But they are good things that he did, which other president before him did not do. Did not do, even not because they don't have the power. Some of them probably did not have the will to do it. Because it takes courage. When we are talking about a president, the head of any government, you need to be courageous. Some of them lack the courage. Some of them also, even who have the courage, I don't want to mention anybody's name, but I know for a fact, some people, I know those who have the courage, but who does not want to do the right thing.
No political will.
No political will because of the hatred for that person. Some people, out of personal
maybe envy,
self-centeredness,
okay, sir.
Self-centeredness, do not want other people to rise above them. They want to be in the history to say, oh, they are the best.
Or they are the only one that reached to this peak, particular peak.
Within this tribe or that tribe or anything. So people do a lot of things for different reasons. Now, look at Niger Bridge.
Oh, yes.
That's all of them.
Historic project, sir.
Before Buhari could not complete. Yes. Buhari completed it. Yeah. Many other things like that. Look at the train.
Yeah.
From Lagos to Kaduna.
Even to Ibadan.
To Abuja to Ibadan. You know, it's Buhari that did it. So let us put two things on the table. Things that are good gestures. Things that even cost money. Let us know, what did Jonathan do? What did the Obasanjo do that cost money? And now, when you are comparing, you must compare things that are comparable. Look at the resources that are available to Obasanjo, resources that were available to Jonathan, then scarce resources that are available to Buhari, and Buhari still, with the scarce resources, did better than Obasanjo and Jonathan.
They said he borrowed a lot of money and is leaving us in huge debt, sir.
Yes, that is correct. But what was the money? You can see what the money was used for. We have those, like I said, I won't mention names. We have those who borrowed money to buy military equipment. And still, they could not fight Boko Haram hands down. Today, Boko Haram has been fought hands down. They still strike once in 3 months. They come in, strike, run away. But those days, they have a base in Nigeria.
They even have a part of the state to
themselves. To themselves, which they control. And huge money was released for military something
to tackle them,
which we know was shared among the politicians. The cases are still in court
and different
by EFCC.
Yes, sir.
So let us remove sentiments, put the things on the table. What have the previous governments done? Yeah, whatever they do, we write it down, we mark it. Good. Put what Buhari did. Buhari did better than all of them. These are statements of fact.
In the LCM, Buhari did better in terms of candor, in terms of managerial skill, in terms of visionary projects, sir.
Visionary project, I won't say, because most of the projects that he did is just what has been on ground, others could not complete, which is good for Nigeria. He completed them. Others, when they come on board, they want to abandon what their predecessors have done, where billions of naira have been spent. They want to start a new thing, which is very bad. That's bad governance. Good governance is so that those money will not be wasted, is to complete it.
Yes, sir.
I love Buhari for that, for not caring, because in history it will go that, so person started the project. And because these politicians who are self-centered, that's what they are running away from. They want to start their own project and probably complete it. Even if they cannot complete it, it will still be in history that they started it. But Buhari did not worry about all those sentiments. What is he doing? He's doing it for the benefit of mankind.
Benefit of it?
Of the people. When Niger Bridge is completed now, who are those going to enjoy it? It's the people around that area, in that region. And we saw some, television news and all the rest of them. The people are happy.
Yes, editorials.
Yes,
analysis.
The people are so happy that they think, finally, the bridge has been. Okay, look at Ibadan, Lagos-Ibadan Express. Ordinary 120 kilometers. It's so appalling. Is this Buhari administration? Even they wanted to complete it by April, they couldn't because of different, weather and all the rest of them. But I'm sure that before they hand over by 29, it will have been completed. Obasanjo did it for 8 years. He started it, he couldn't complete it. The next one came, he couldn't complete it. Aladura came, Jonathan. No, that is a sorry state. Normally, such a road will not take more than 1 or 2 years in Europe to complete. And we are spending about 23 years to complete 120 kilometers. If we want to do 500 kilometers, we will spend 100 years. I mean, it's unbelievable. These politicians are taking us for a ride.
Too much ride.
This is too much. It's
unbelievable. We're thinking maybe spiritual problem that is on this.
There's no spiritual problem. They lack vision. They lack vision. You want to do something, you budget for it, you spend the money there. There was a time I was reading the newspapers that this Buhari government wanted to complete this road earlier. They budgeted money for it. When it got to Parliament, the Parliament said, no, Lagos-Ibadan is not the only road in the country. They half the budget. That the other half should be spent in other. Because once you have the budget, you are prolonging the completion of the project. But you need a government that will stand its ground. Such a thing cannot happen with Achiwaju. If he wants to do something, he gets it done. So, because that's democracy. Parliament has to approve your budget, and if they don't approve it,
There's problem.
There's problem. So if they say the only reason way we can approve your is to just to cut it to 50%, so that the other 50% will be spent somewhere else where they can share part of it.
Or they can butcher it.
That's the normal thing.
So, but when you look at the 2023 election, I think you are in and out of the country, and anywhere you are as a very a gentle nationalist. How did you see the election? People believe that a lot of buses were snatched, people were maimed, there was intimidation. In Lagos, for instance, I'm very sorry, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
They said, the Yoruba, they carry Oro out. You know,
Oro.
sir, Oro, yes, they said they want to use it to intimidate a Lagosian that they said is from Igbo tribe. What's his name? The governor of Labour Party. Rodrigo, whose father came out to say, we are Lagosians. We have history, 25-year history and all that. And there was a lot of things that happened in that political circle. And the election was almost like a tit for tat, intimidation here and there. As a visionary and as someone who has been very versatile with the German parliament in those days and who is now a leader of men across the world, how do you feel with the 2023 election, both at the national level and at the different state level?
The 2023 general election in Nigeria is the best in the history of Nigeria.
A lot of people will disagree too. Sir.
Oh, sure. They will disagree, but that's why I say, let us bring the facts, put them on the table, and observe them one by one. It is the first time in the history of this country that governors will lose election in their own state. A governor that won a whole state could not even win a senatorial seat, which is just a section within the state. It has never happened in Nigeria. So I will give you facts that show that 2023 election is the best in the history of this country. That's number one. Number two, look at the spread. We have the Constitution. The Constitution says that you must at least score, apart from scoring the majority, you must score 25% in 24 states, including Abuja, yes, meaning Abuja is being treated like a state for that purpose.
Yes, sir.
So what that means, I want everybody to understand, because even some lawyers do not understand simple clause of the Constitution. It means you can score 25% in 23 states and score 25% in Abuja. If you do that, it will be counted as if you have scored 25% in 24 states. That's what that provision says.
I'm trying to understand the arithmetic analysis now, sir.
Yeah, the analysis says, and Supreme Court has given judgment in 2003 that
Atiku Sanjo and Buhari.
Yes, if you score 25% in Abuja, it will be counted as scoring 25% in a state. Okay, but minimum you must score 25% in 24 states. And among the three candidates, I don't know, I don't remember if Atiku also scored. I think it's Asiwaju and Atiku that scored. Our man, Obi, did not score 25% in 24 states. He was short, very short of scoring 25% in 24. And this is in the history of Nigeria. This is the first time somebody who came third is claiming to have won the election. It's so embarrassing and so funny. You know, we can laugh about it.
A lot of people said Rivers was something else because the governor played politics. The governor forced people and tried to draconially.
Let me give you a very sound argument. We have a saying, yes, even the Bible also backs it up. United, we are strong. Divided, we fall. If a party 4 years ago, the PDP could not win the election 4 years ago, now in 2023, they are splitted into 4 fractions. And somebody is expecting one of the fractions to win. That person must have problem with his or her brain. Because PDP was divided into 4. PDP, LP, they are all PDP before, G5, and Kwakwaso, and then PP. They were all in the PDP. If they had remained, I'm telling you the gospel truth, they would have won the election.
So that means
And they would have won. If all of them, they did not split, they stayed together, just like they were together 4 years ago, they would have won landslide. It's not just winning, no. They would have won landslide. But because they split it, when God wants to do something, God mentioned it in the scriptures. He said, don't be afraid. The children of Israelites were afraid when they look at the masses, the soldiers that they are going to face. Yes, they look at their numbers, they look at themselves. Like a human being realistic. How can we, 1,000, face 20,000 soldiers? God said, don't worry. Don't worry, you don't know anything. I will. Yes, they will start fighting one another. So, and they will just make the job easy for you. Once they start fighting one another, the job will be easy for you. You are only 1,000, you just finish them. And that's exactly what happened. Because actually you would have not had any chance if the 4 of them had remained together. G5, NNPP, Labour Party, and PDP. Go and add up their votes. You will see the difference. The difference is so massive. But they will never, because of their self-centeredness, they will never agree. We knew what happened, how Kwankwaso and Obi were negotiating. Yes, sir, nobody wanted to step down for the other.
Yes, sir. They negotiated.
Yes. Nobody wanted to. Look, the Kwankwaso vote alone in Kano is more than all the Obi in southeast of Nigeria.
Like almost 2 million.
1
million.
1 point something million. 1.2 or something like that. All what Obi got in southeast is less than what Kwankwaso got alone in Kano. If one of them has stepped down for the other, maybe the story will be quite different today. But they are all self-centered. These people are not fit to lead Nigeria because of their self-centeredness. If you have Nigeria at heart, there's nothing wrong for you to step down for somebody else. For example, look the way I'm talking.
Yes, sir.
I have a lot of experience.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to be a minister of the federal government. I don't want to be a commissioner of any state. If they need my wealth of experience, I just want to advise them. And I don't want 1 naira for my advice. Because of the love I have for Nigeria, I'm ready to advise them free of charge.
Without taking salary?
Without no salary, no nothing. The job God has given to me is enough. My life, let me confess something to you. I think I'm saying this for the very first time, if I'm not mistaken.
God bless you, sir.
When I was in Nigeria, when I was working in Nigeria before I traveled abroad, I never touched my salary. It is when salesmen come back, I was working with Coca-Cola. Yeah. When salesmen come back from the field, every evening, I was working in the stores. So we load their vehicle for the following day, It's the tip, all the salesmen are giving to me that I was living on. I did not spend 1 naira from my salary. So when it was time to travel, I didn't have to ask my mom or my uncle or anybody. It is my money I use in buying the ticket, and I was still having money remaining in my account with First Bank.
This grace.
So this same thing today, as the primate of this church, I don't touch my salary. It's what people give to me. I even use it to help others.
That's a high form of leadership. Sublime form of leadership, sir.
What do I need? What do I need? Is it to just need this little food? Is that what is going to cost so much money? And I'm lucky. My children are overseas where education is free. I don't have to buy anything. I don't have to buy books. I don't have to buy. The only thing maybe buy uniform. That's all. Education is free. So God placed me always in a situation where I don't need money for maintenance, daily maintenance. I don't need money. I don't need it. To God be the glory. It's not because, you see, it's not because I'm good, oh. It's not because I know how to do anything, oh. It's just by the grace of God.
A special grace of God, sir.
It's a special grace. It's not me that, I can think or I know how to do it. Because if I know how to do it, then it means fraud is coming in. You are using your intelligence to look for money. I don't beg them for money. People just give me money freely. So, because of the money they give to me freely, there's no need to touch my salary.
There's a high level of sacrificial leadership, sir.
We thank God for everything.
In fact, we enjoy the political teaching and political analysis. It's so fantastic.
To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory.
You gave us a kind of insight. I've always tried to look out for the obedient analysis, but when you gave us this one now, we cannot even say no again. We are tired now, you see, sir. I want to thank you for this because it's arithmetical, sense of
there's something,
analysis,
please,
sir.
Before you round up, there's something you mentioned and I want to address it.
Yes, sir.
During the election, we have all over Nigeria few places where there are hiccups,
yes.
Disturbance, snatching of something,
yes.
beating, festival, and all the rest of them. But when I want you to
yes, sir.
Look into it comprehensively. Look at what the Constitution says. The Constitution says, if the result is substantially, you have to underline that word, substantially, okay, then it is adjourned as free, fair, and credible. So if you have, for example, just let's say maybe we take one small state. For example, a state with 7,000 polling units.
Okay, sir.
And from the 7,000, they have 70 polling units with disruptions, snatching of boxes, whatever, beating, and all the rest of them. In that state, if you look at 70, it's like 1% of 7,000. Because 10% will be 700. So 1%. So the election in that state, in spite of all the issues,
yes, sir.
has constitutionally be adjourned as free, fair, and credible. Because substantially, 99% was okay. So all these lawyers who are deceiving Obi and deceiving Atiku, I'm telling you, they just want their money. Because this is their season to make money. And I don't blame them. That's what lawyers do all over the world. Although some lawyers are different from lawyers. So, because in Europe, some lawyers are direct. They will tell you the truth.
Those are counsels.
Yes.
There's a lawyer, there's counsels.
Yes. My lawyer, I've been to court in Europe, I've been to court in America, not on personal issue.
Yeah. Maybe larger issues.
Larger issues, they even ask us, the lawyer is a Nigerian, although an American Nigerian, said, please, we should come to court. So if the judge see some black people in court, that's what he told us. So if the judge sees some black people in court, because the person involved is a Nigerian, and he's going to plead on behalf of that person, that the judge should just let him be repatriated instead of wasting taxpayers' money. Staying in jail will be costing the government. That he told us everything. That is what he's going to plead, and he's going to plead some, leniency that some of these things were done according to our culture and all the rest of them.
Cultural nuances.
Yes, and the judge bought into it. I was there.
That's perception.
Perception.
Legal
we were
perception.
there to witness, and the judge saw that, some people are interested in the case. Not knowing that we don't even know the person. The accused, we don't know him. It's the lawyer, only the lawyer we know. We don't know the accused. We don't know him from nowhere.
Emotional intelligence.
Yes. That is it. And the judge bought into it. And the judge just gave the, said, oh, counsel, you are right. Okay, I will give my judgment next week, and he will be repatriated. Let him go back to his country. And the person is happy. Instead of spending jail time in America, he will go as a free person back to his country. Yes. So, you see, I was talking about
the
lawyers. Yes.
Lawyers and their legal.
They will tell you
interpretations of cases.
I'm not generalizing. I'm not saying all lawyers in Europe and America, but majority of them will tell you when your case has no good standing. They will tell you, if I were to advise you, if you want us to do it, we will prosecute it. But if I were to advise you, so that you don't waste your time and money, I will tell you, they will advise you to drop the case. Nigeria, majority, maybe there are some good lawyers like that also in Nigeria. I'm not. Very few. I'm not. That's where I'm going. Very few. Majority will be telling you, Daddy, you have a good case. Auntie, you have a good case. Many of them. Yeah. Majority of them. Because of the money they want to get from you. Yeah. Whereas over there, it's not that money that is going to make them rich. Yeah. They will tell you the truth. Drop this case.
The basic truth.
Yes. But if you want us to do it, we will do it. We will execute it. But at the end of the day, the way I'm seeing your case, you don't have a case. So it's going to amount to waste of time and waste of money. And that's what we are not getting in Nigeria, unfortunately.
Quality counsel. Everybody's just a lawyer. They law you.
Make money.
Just tear you up.
Just to make money.
A
dead case, they will tell you, we will try. We will try. We will try our best. You have a chance. So you can quote him later. Uncle, don't forget, what we told you is that we are going to try. He never told you that we are going to win. Yes, we will try our best. We will try our best.
And valuable time has been wasted.
Wasted money,
wasted
emotions.
Effort, wasted emotion, busted. Before we go to the World Council of Churches, sir, I want you to give me a summary, because you have grown in the good years when Nigeria was better, when sardine was cheap, geisha was cheap, bread was cheap, when people beg you with a car when you graduate from school. You've seen a good time in Nigeria. They want to.
The jobs are waiting for you before you come out of the university.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you just have to choose one.
So when you look at the trajectory from those years, the good old days, when Volkswagen was maybe like, when I was growing up, was 3,000.
Yes.
My dad's friend was buying it, and 504 Datsun was expensive, than even Volkswagen 504 and all the rest. With total honor, sir, who would you say was the best leader that ruled within those years, from the day we got independent till now? And under would you think things started getting down the drain? I mean, if you look at it with a political eye and with a spiritual eye and with a sense of leadership, as a leader of men and leader of scarce resources, which year would you say the best man that did the best job among them, from the days of what they call
Nigeria?
In Nigeria,
or
Nigeria,
not any state. We leave the state out of it.
Not yet. Nigeria leadership.
At the beginning, Nigeria was so good because of the type of democracy we were practicing then. It was a true federal state with regions that are free, only contributing to the center.
Yes, sir.
That was the golden age of Nigeria. That was when Western region of Nigeria was able to do things first in Africa. Though it's to the glory of Nigeria, but it's Western region that did it.
First television before France.
Before France, before Romania, before Bulgaria, before all East African, East European countries. Nigeria had television before all of them. All East European countries.
Jesus Christ.
So, the first skyscraper, the first stadium in Africa, everything was done by Western region because of true democracy. The person that came and ruined the whole thing was Aguiyi-Ironsi. Aguiyi-Ironsi stopped when military came in, stopped this regional freedom and now imposed central
unitary system.
That is when Nigeria started going derail.
Nose
diving, going down, little by little. The person that finished it, and I will tell you, Scully, is my good brother. It's our good uncle. With good intention, but bad policy.
I hope you're not going to mention Eboro of Uwu Kingdom, sir.
He is the person. And I will tell you what he did.
It's a legendary elder statesman, sir.
No doubt about that. I love him so much because I've met him not only once, at least twice or three times on one-on-one. I love him for his clarity of expression. So, though things he will tell you indoor, he may not say it openly outside. He may not say it openly outside. But when you are with him, he will tell you the gospel truth. They are talking about elections now. The best election, they are saying, because they are so disappointed they didn't win, they are now discountenancing it. This is the best. It could still be better. I'm not saying it's not. We can still make it better than this. But this is the best election in Nigeria. I won't tell you the name. One of the head of state, Nigeria, we were with him. I was not alone. All head of churches. We were just about 8 head of churches in Nigeria. We were with him in his office. And he told us how election, during his own government, was conducted and was announced. He told us that what they did was just buy the police commissioner of the state and buy the INEC commissioner of the state. They will write the election result they want in their own house and give it to the INEC to announce. Was that possible in this last election?
Almost impossible, sir.
Totally impossible. It's totally impossible. So that's what happened in the past. What did Eboro Owu did with good intention, but as a bad policy that affected the economy of Nigeria, that ruined, it's not only just affecting, it ruined the economy of Nigeria. It is called, or it was called then, Nigerianization policy.
Nigerianization
policy. Any Nigerian that hear it that time, I don't know whether...
I think Idi Amin tried this in Kampala.
I don't know whether I was happy, but I know the newspaper, editorial, commentaries, many Nigerians were happy. What is Nigerianization policy? It means any company in Nigeria Nigerians must have 51%. The owner of the company must be a minority shareholder, cannot have more than 49%. That was when Volkswagen left Nigeria. That was when IBM, International Business Machine of America, left Nigeria. That was when many countries. How can I have a company in Nigeria and I will be a minority shareholder? And it was this Nigerianization policy that caused it. And he didn't care. Now when he came back as a politician, head of state, as president,
1999,
they don't believe him. He wanted to reverse it. The damage that he caused on Nigeria.
I'm not sure.
But all these foreign companies did not believe him again. They don't trust him. And they didn't come back. The beginning, the person that ruined the economy of this country is Olusegun Obasanjo. With good intention, but bad policy.
Good intention, but bad policy.
Yeah. Because they want to lift Nigerians up.
And Nigeria were not prepared for that kind of, or the people.
Even if Nigerians were prepared, because a lot of, you have to go to the stock market. A lot of Nigerians bought into it. It's not that Nigerians didn't do it. But how can you own a company? Yeah. You own a company in a country and you will be a minority shareholder, and other people will be running your own company. It's not done anywhere.
It's not done.
It's unhuman. It's totally unhuman. That is what ruined the economy of this country. Nigeria would have been so far if those companies, we were having Volkswagen, we were having Peugeot, in the north,
Yeah,
Volkswagen in Lagos, other companies like Volvo wanted to come in. All those who wanted to come in, they just stayed away. God, they were just thanking their God that, we would have been there and it would have affected us. Because they would have spent a lot of money to start the company and all these things. When you are going, you cannot take, you can just take few things away with you. Your land, your whatever,
yes,
your houses, your factories, we still stay there. You'll be looking for somebody to buy it at peanuts. And when they know you are going, they will be offering you bad money. That is what destroyed the economy of this country.
Jesus Christ.
It was Olusegun Obasanjo with advice that was given to him. So that is where now Tinubu comes in. Tinubu is more intelligent than all these most politicians in Nigeria. Yes, people can also give him bad advice, but he's intelligent enough and is well exposed than all of them because he lived in America, he studied in America. Chicago State University, that's where he studied. Yeah. And he came with first class in accounting. So he can take any advice, weigh it on his own experience and exposure, whether it should be taken or not taken. Those are the type of things former president, former head of state do not have. I can even say this is the first time we are having a president-elect that will be inaugurated very soon, that wanted to do the job. Look at, I thank God you are a journalist. Look at the history of Nigeria. Yeah. Most of our presidents in the past have been compromised president, number one, or
pushed to the job
out of the circumstances, like Jonathan. Jonathan never wanted to be a president.
Circumstantial president.
Circumstantial president. He was vice president. According to the constitution, when the president dies, automatically
he was pushed to the front burner.
Vice president will come in. Look at the other man. Yaradua. Even before Shagari was a compromise. Is a primary school teacher.
Was going to
grade 2.
Yes.
But it was a compromise. Okay, you wanted it. Okay, no fight. We'll give it to this man. This is the first time we are having somebody who wants to do it, who has an agenda, who has a plan for Nigeria. And God has made it possible for him to get there. And we will see how God is going to use him. God is going to turn Nigeria situation around through this man, by the grace of God.
Are you so sure, sir?
I'm so sure, because that's what God says. And I know God, I'm serving a living God. My God does not tell lies. Let us talk about campaign money.
They said the money is too much. That the
yes.
campaign expenditure, he might recoup it back in a very crazy form.
That is when you put Akuche there, Somebody, it's just like, look at when we are talking about money spent, it is true. A lot of money was spent for this election and any other election, even before now. We know the story.
Election expenditures.
Election expenditures. But still, compared to the United States of America, it's almost nothing. Compared to the United States. When Ford wanted to become the president of America.
The same Ford Motors?
Yes. It's not because they are multimillionaires. Actually, they are billionaires in their family. It's not because of the money, how much is he going to get as the president. It's because of the position. Just to say, I was the president of the United States. And during my time, maybe he has some vision, something he wants to implement. So that and that were done. That is what was pushing him. Not what he can gain materially. And I'm sure that with Tinubu has enough money that is not interested in what he can gain materially. It is the vision he wants to realize. During my time, this and this and this were done in Nigeria. That is the vision.
The Lagos.
You see, please, it is true. Tell me which governor is not getting money even after they left the office. That is everywhere in Nigeria. Even the worst is just now, some governors that are about to leave, about 3 or 4 of them,
Yes.
their state just passed some laws.
Horrible laws.
Horrible laws.
Houses here
worse,
and there.
worse than Lagos State. And many things, sometimes, you see, we have to be very careful about rumors. If you remember,
Yes, sir.
before the election, there are a lot of rumors, call a dog a bad name so that you can hang it. They said, oh, wait, what is this hotel in Ikeja? One hotel belong to
Oriental
Hotel.
in
But by the time you find out, you do your research. Unfortunately, even some journalists, they don't do their research. They just jump into the same news that all. They discover that Tinubu has no even 1% share in that hotel. It belongs to some what do you call it, Lebanese. Friesland something. Some foreigners. Maybe government just made the place, conducive because the place was dump site before. Cleared the place and sold it at big money for a foreign company to come and build hotel. And Lagos State made a lot of money from that. But people were, rumors, we're just carrying out a lot of rumors. It's just like this Oluwole Tinubu too. Oh, the man has a case in America. $146,000 was confiscated. And it's not, they just have the same last name. It's not Asiwaju Tinubu. The person in question was even a federal minister. Which, if we do diligence, our journalists, they do investigative journalism. Little things, this is Oluwole, this is not Bola Ahmed. We should ring bell instead of carrying bad rumors around. May God help us.
Amen, sir. Let's quickly go to the issue of World Council of Churches. I mean, the theme for this year is Christ's love moves the world to reconciliation and unity. That was the theme for last year.
For last year, General Assembly.
Yes, the General Assembly, the 11th General Assembly in Germany, whereby you emerged as the president of the African leadership. Sir, you look at what is happening in Ukraine and Russia. How can Christ move us? Because do you support, because you are a world leader, sir, do you support what President Vladimir Putin is doing? Do you think what he's fighting for is right? And how do we get out of it? What is your perception about what Vladimir is trying to do, looking as if he's protecting some kind of orthodox measures? He doesn't want the Westerners to westernize his neighborhood and all that. But how can your organization heal that part of the world, sir?
Thank you for that question. As a matter of fact, the General Secretary of the World Council of Churches, with some members of the leadership, just last week, came back from Ukraine.